Okay, good afternoon, folks. We'll do a quick midday. It is November 7th, 12:11 p.m. And I have a, hey JD, thank you. I have a few things to go over. So right now I've been watching HMNY for a bounce off 10% today, and I'm expecting something around the 200 on the 5 here. MACD's up, squeeze momentum is turning green, stock R size a little overbought, so I'm going to give it some room to breathe. The VRX I've been watching for a number of days, and it is now getting a pop. It has earnings 7 days, so I'm going to be careful, but I just about day traded it this morning and should have executed and didn't. So in trading things go up and down and around, and trading's not the easiest game in town. But anyway, quarter one, quarter two really good, quarter three a little tougher, and quarter four I haven't really got moving here, but I'm feeling pretty aggressive in the bones. So over the next little while here, as we come out the other side of earnings, I think you'll see me get unusually aggressive. Just so you know, when I do have those triggers, I'm going to take them. XBTUSD, I'm watching for a possible bounce here. It's under serious pressure, and I'm not, I don't have great hopes for that, but it might. As far as positions are concerned, real quick, shop I don't hold anymore. It's off a little bit. We got out at the right time. AAOI I do hold. I am holding into earnings. It's up a little bit today. Yeah, as I've reviewed before, toughest trade of the year. SPII is off, and I'm not happy with it, so I might have to cut here, unfortunately. So I'll just take a quick look at it. VRX, I'll just get off the board. HMNY, I'll take off the board. SPII. So I'll show you on the daily first here. This is one of those momos that you get into and you end up holding, and you know how that is. It could go either way. Anyway, it's not exactly broke. The 20 is coming, so that causes me pause. But I did say I would cut if it lost the bottom, and that's 1792. Now it just happens to be that's where the 20 is. So it's one of those Uggs. But if it loses at 20, I'll absolutely have to cut. And yeah, to be quite frank, I have confidence that it's going to bounce. I just yeah, it's just one of those. Right? So anyway, I've talked enough about the ones that I'm holding over the last number of days. It has been one heck of a learning experience after 30 years. Facebook, we're out of. What else is there out there that I'm holding? I'm in a small position with oil because it's so divergent to the bullish side, so I'm in long 1/10. Oh yeah, Snap, I'm holding into earnings too. So AAOI and Snap, I'm holding into earnings. Snap on the daily is a fantastic little chart, which is bizarre in my thinking. But I am holding it into earnings. Now, I have a very, very small position left in one account. To get up to 1553, my sell trigger starts in around 1575 on that last position. So I was thinking about cutting actually earlier today, and then I thought, well, let's see what goes down here. The previous high around 1690-ish. Okay, so that's I think covers what I'm holding. I'm definitely curious about Bitcoin. As far as stocks for the day, MYO, so that's a low floater, up 133%. Nothing I can really say about it. I was going to go, and then I thought, well, yeah, what do I say? Tops. So I took a long on it, got a small scalp on it, small position. Took the long down in here. I seen it coming in on the 200 on 5. Longed it. Somewhere in here, it kind of, where was it? Started to fail. I guess right at the 100. I didn't really realize that. Then I got another pop. I think is what happened right after I cut. It only popped for another 20 cents or whatever, and it's come off. CYRN hasn't, here, let's look at the daily. Doesn't really matter what it's doing. On the 5, this one. So up on news, and it's just one of those that I can't tell you much about. A lot of these are not great charts. I've already gone through them. KND, Kindred Health, getting really close to the 200, yeah, so I alarmed it for a short. Pardon me. Pixie Dixie, again popping. The chart is setting up like Snap did. Pardon me. So who knows? NPTN. Anyway, Pixie I've been watching for that scenario since we first looked at it a while back. NPTN, bottom play, earnings. I'm just not into it at all. Same thing here, FNJN. So, you know, here's your theme, right? Almost up at the 200. Earnings coming. I think I'll set a quick alarm here if it hits the 200, crossing 200. Then we got WTW, so Oprah at work, adding her bank account. Oh, it brought up tops. Wow. WTW up 18%. I remember when this first took off. In fact, I remember looking at, yeah, I was watching the TV. I remember looking at the TV, looking at somebody and saying, I really should do it. I was going to hammer down really hard in here. Is that where it was? Anyway. CIFS. So how much I shoulda, coulda, wouldas, hey, last quarter for me. I'm going to break that cycle. CIFS just doesn't stop. A lot of these China plays, I wouldn't doubt come alive here in the next little while. Anyway, that's close your eyes, enter, close your eyes, and pray and set a stop. Price breakout. PRCP. I know nothing about this one. I looked at it earlier. Not a chart that I can get a hold of. Once they do this, like I've said before, you got to wait for them to come back on their MAs, usually. XOMA is been something that I've watched for some time now. It's over its 200, and it just doesn't stop. So, you know, I don't know. Do I think it's gonna keep going after this? It might. It would have been a great short opportunity up here today. And in fact, once again, I was looking at it, but didn't execute. VRX. Wow. VRX. So over the coming days, so this is an example of where I don't want to look back and go, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. So over the coming days, you're going to see me trade VRX. I'm absolutely convinced this is going to set up. Now, the only problem is it's earnings. So I might wait until I get past earnings, and that's why I said to you at the beginning of this webcast that coming out the other side of earnings, I was going to get really aggressive. Going into earnings, I hate to be aggressive. I hate to hold, and I'm holding a couple. KBSF, so your low float specialty, never holds its gains. I have made very good money off this in the past. In fact, in this spike here. Could it get going again? It could. Looks like a bottom. It's got its MAs. I wouldn't doubt you see that one soon too. But you have to be very cautious with it. Crazy. CLDX. Up against its 200. yet another one. Add alert. CLDX crossing value 200. MA create done. VIRT. I won't even go into the story, but somebody I knew or know was trading it in here. Just did fantastic. And I mean, it respected the MAs all the way through there. It's the last time it did this. So I got to be careful with what I say because this was so clean, and I was saying, don't do it, don't do it. It's a tough one to trade. Most of these, 90% of these today, you got to be an expert trader. You should be anyway. CVGI, same thing. Pop, wait for it to come back. It is at natural support if you are going to trade it. So there's not a lot to say about these today because none of them are setting up on our program. Mike, I looked at them all and they're just not there. This one's too new for any kind of setup. CRC, so here's an example, right, of kind of what's going on. So your low floats, your small cap oil or energy, and China's probably next too, and volatility is probably coming. And I say that knowing that the central banks pretty much killed the volatility, but IIN, this one I know nothing about. All I can tell you is on the chart, be cautious because it's popped up so high, and who knows if it'll hold. Same deal there. And INTT, trending stock, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 in. Be very cautious now. 4 or 5 in, and you usually see a down. Probably see it down to 670, 680, maybe a little more. It depends whether the 200 catches it. But it could go one more leg. And that's our markets for today in terms of the upside. OTC I didn't look at, so I won't even go through. On the downside, SELB is not even something I can consider touching. But I do know traders that would. Just looking at any notes here from other traders. Yeah, those energy stocks, man, there's so many of them flying off the scans this morning. Could happen. Oil is, yeah, oil is divergent to the bull side. Just looking at anything on SELB here. Nothing. TLGT. On these downs, I'll look through what other traders that I respect are doing, if they're in or not. TLGT, don't know anything about it. Trades like garbage. I'll just stay away from it. MNK. I know some traders that got into this. I'm not. I can't put a thesis behind it. But I know some good traders that are entering right now. FPRX did get a bounce after it tanked off natural support, and that's a great sign. So it may go, it may repair. That's the first signal that you might get it. QTNA. Don't know anything about it. True. Natural support after its 5 legs, and you might get it there too. Now I did get into 2 this morning. Well, it was really chippy stuff, so it doesn't really matter. Don't even have to review it. And that's all I got for today. Like, there's just nothing here. It's one of those days in the markets. MYO. That's funny stuff. Oh, I want to look at Google real quick here. If anybody has any charts to look at, send them in. If not, I'm going to cut midday short and get into our swing publication here. So Google, it gapped up, and it's basically created what you could call relative strength since it gapped, and that's why I tweeted on this morning, because I'm watching it going, you know what, this thing should be coming off, but it's not. Stock RSI is coming off a bit. MACD is good, the squeeze momentum's good, but what made me stop and go, you know, this could go on a run here right away, is the bottom of, after this red day here, the bottom of today's candle is above the bottom of yesterday's. And I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but considering it's testing its previous highs after its earnings spike, you know, exclusive of or excluding, and it's trading where it is today, I think it's going on a run. Similar to this here. And here. I think I've won every Google trade. I mean, it's not hard when something doesn't go down. I mean, it goes down, but I hate to do it that way. I'd rather do a bounce off the MAs. Anyway, that's something I'm watching. Oh, and Tesla, I want to look at Tesla really quick. Oil, by the way, is come off a little bit today, but boy, is it oddly strong. So here's the Tesla test. Just over natural support. It's into day 4 of the test. You can draw all kinds of channels and trend lines, but the bottom line is whether or not the bulls step in or not here. That's all it comes down to. Stock RSI is starting to cross back up. What makes me think it's going to go is the MACD is getting closer and closer to the bottom. Stock RSI is at the bottom. I mean, things can stay at the bottom for a long time, but if you look at the history of this, MACD doesn't stay down there very long typically. And if the stock RSI does get down there, it doesn't stay down long. The MACD hardly even goes to the bottom, near the bottom. When it does, it doesn't stay there long. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am on that one. Okay, so that's what I'm watching. As far as you guys are concerned, please take a look at ELGX, DVN. Another quiet day in the room, hey? DVN and ELGX. I'm not even going to look at my screen when the earnings come out on Snap and AAOI tonight. I might not even look at them for a couple weeks. Might be next quarter before I even look at them. Sorry guys, can't get to the trigger on my mic fast enough there sometimes. ELGX. Well, without explaining every detail, If you look at the squeeze momentum at the bottom, it's basically got what you could term a flattening curve. Technically not perfect description, but its MACD used to be up and down, and then it flattened out. And then recently, it's gotten bullish. Its stock RSI is its stock RSI. It's not divergent at all. But the squeeze momentum over the last 4 or 5 months is divergent. The MACD is divergent over the same period of time. The stock RSI is divergent in here, lots of buying, when basically the MACD and the squeeze momentum started going divergent. So I find that really curious. The other thing I find really curious, just looking at this chart real quick, is this bottom here. Looks like a bottom. I hate to make it so simple, but whenever you see that, where it, you know, the steps get smaller, and then you get this, like with Snap, probability is really high, and I just know that from looking at tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of charts over the years. So I like the divergence down here and all the indicators. I like the divergence here. I like the divergence in the bottom steps. I like the gaps, even though this one's filled, but it's got a whole bunch of kind of quasi gaps. And I like the fact that it's already tried the 200 come back and it bounced. And the 50 and the 100. So a lot of people would consider that very bullish. Squeeze momentum is green. Stock RSI in the short term is a little overbought, but that kind of makes sense. So is this earnings after markets day? Earnings call November 7th, 4:30 p.m. Ooh, I'd be careful, but the chart screams buy. If earnings weren't today, I'd buy it right now. I mean, it's a little off. It's 20. It's not the ideal time. It's a little off. It's 200. But, I mean, it's only 30 cents off its 200 and 40 or whatever, 50 cents off its 20. Yeah, if there wasn't earnings, the only thing that would be stopping me is the stock RSI up here. I'd wait for that stock RSI to get back down, but the problem is if it gets going, you might not see the stock RSI down for a while. I love that chart. Structurally, it's not the best, but it screams bottom. Like it's screaming bottom really loud. Huh. What to do here? There's no way I can take it before earnings. Yeah, I'm kind of in a position where I get in your trading, like where you just have to win, like you can't fool around anymore. I'm there. So, of course, I've been there at different times, but I got to get aggressive. I was aggressive in Bitcoin and killing it, but it's come off. And I've been aggressive. You know, it depends what's going on, right? But I shift my aggression, of course. What markets are doing. Anyway, my next aggression is toward day trading and swing trading, your conventional trading. So over the next couple of days, you'll see me get, you know, well, coming out of earnings, I guess that's what I'm saying. Okay, I got it alarmed. I can't take it before the earnings call, simply because of where my accounts are at. I have to be very cautious right now. Cautiously aggressive isn't that neat? But yeah, I have to get super, super aggressive. It's November 7th, and you know, I have to hit the bell good and hard for the end of the season, end of the year. So this one is super high on the list. Thanks, JD. Why don't I just save this, and then that'll remind me when I'm in the charts tonight. Thanks for bringing that one. That's pretty cool stuff. My prediction on earnings tonight is holdings as Snap sells off and AAOI gets serious lift. I think AAOI is going to double to triple by this time next year. Maybe even quadruple. For sure double. Yep, same as my Juno call, identically the same. Wow, cool. Okay. So, ELGX. Everybody else is quiet, eh? DVN on interest watch list. DVN. It's funny, when I'm really winning, our trading room gets really busy, and when I'm not, it slows right down. Not that it's ever rocking, but DVN. Yeah, so for complete disclosure, I know these guys. I was in the energy services business before I semi-retired, haha. I had an energy services company. So, yeah, disclosure, I know them. Stocks are so tough. No, I think I've won every time I've traded DVN. I'm going to let oil prove itself where it is. It's just at a really funky place. Once you know that, now the problem is you might not have time here at Devon. Like, the way to trade Devon is you just look at its extensions over its 200. That's all you do. So just go back to previous extensions and literally draw a line. And I've done this a number of times at Devon. I can't recall how many times I've traded this to the, you know, to the positive. Never huge wins, but consistent wins. Because it's so smooth. It doesn't respect the 200, but it's smooth. Like a lot of these energies won't respect the 200. But the right ones are smooth. So just, you know, just do that. This type of thing. And that's about it, really. You know, watch the legs, because you'll never, well, I should never say never, right? But I don't think you'll ever get more than 5 legs. You know, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on how you count them. But yeah, just keep it really simple. You know, so your upside here is around 52.27, 52, call it 51. It's trading 41. It's decent upside. There's nothing wrong with the upside once the earnings. Oh. Wow, how did they do that? That's pretty interesting. The whole energy sector pisses me off. Yeah, it's just because, you know, there's a lot of personal bias in that. I was in the business, and it's aggressive. How do I say it any better than that? It's nice setup. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to alarm it. I might take the trade if oil's kind of it's at a place where I just can't fully commit to anything on it. But it's just right there. That's the problem. I can give you a number here. These are two good charts that you brought in there, JD. Yeah, pump PUMP. Lots of OMO there. See, I'll get you a number on oil because the room's quiet, and I'll break the official rules here. So up over 58.30, call it 58.40. Mark that number down, 58.40. If it holds 58.40, you can be pretty confident that it's going to see the next leg up. Right now, between where it is now at 57.20 and 58.40, that dollar is a big dollar in the oil charts. So the problem is, by the time oil got to 58.40, this might be done at its extension. That's the problem. So I know I'm not helping. I love the chart setup. I love the fact, as it applies to the trade, that oil is doing so well. But I do not trust this move in oil at all. I believe oil is worth between $14 and $18 a barrel. I think in my lifetime, yes, and I'm old, I think in my lifetime I'm going to see it. But there's funky dunky stuff going on in it, and so I gotta try and keep an open mind. Devon Energy is a good company as far as energy companies are concerned, as far as I understand. Okay, that's what I know. Oil keeps going up, and you're going to see Tesla rip, though, I'll tell you that. Tesla's going to rip either way. And Bitcoin's getting a little bit of a pop here, so it does make you wonder if that 7,000 is going to hold. It would be against conventional charting wisdom if it does. It should have a much bigger pullback, but it is Bitcoin. Okay, any others? I know we got a calm room here today, so. Okay, well, fine. I'm going to get super aggressive. You guys are the first ones to hear it outside of earnings on the other side. So over the next coming days and weeks, you're going to see me get super aggressive. And yeah, I've been promising those swing charts forever. I've got some out, but I'm going to tackle them again here tonight. Talk to you later, guys. Thanks.